Time for another haul video. Today I've got 16 brand new 2023 releases to share with you. I love doing these because I myself like to discover new fragrances, and I have it split into 7 niche, 7 designer, and 2 in the middle because they're like celebrity or upscale luggage company. You're gonna find out why in just a minute. So let's hop into the choices. Welcome back to another video. 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝐿 here. If you do love to smell great while making a great and lasting impression, you came to the right place. Hopefully these fragrances that I'm about to share with you will definitely help you elevate your style. We're gonna kick off the list here with one company that I said it's right in the middle here, from the house of 𝗏𝗵𝗏. This is 19 Degree. This is one that I didn't hear much about it until I actually heard about it, and I said, you know what? Let me pick up a bottle and give you guys my thoughts on it. So this is 19 Degree from the house of 𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, which is mostly an upscale luggage company. The bottle looks really cool. It's got this ribbed feel to it. Almost looks like the luggages. They have this 𝗷𝗔𝗻𝗏 thing here that turns and twists so you can, open the mechanism of the cap and release the cap. The sprays are actually really good. And this one smells very pleasant. It smells very familial, very similar to a lot of the woody, aquatic, aromatic fragrances out there. I'm getting a lot of sweet citrus notes, fruity notes, somewhat of an aquatic feel to the fragrance, maybe lavender, some woods in the base. It's nice, nothing great, nothing to brag home about. It's good, but it's not great. Just for the standpoint of a first impression, I'm gonna give this a meh kind of a rating, not great, not bad. It's a good smelling fragrance, but if you already have woody, aromatic, aquatic fragrances in your collection, this is gonna be redundant to say the least. Next up, a fragrance that was released for ladies out there. This one here from the house of Dolce & Gabbana. This one's called Devotion. And again, as you know, with a lot of these bottles, I actually prep them before just to make sure it's easier. I get myself a tester strip and I get them ready for you guys. This one here is mostly, from what I read here on the notes and stuff, this is supposed to be a citrus vanilla combination. Upon spray here, this is going to be sweet, little floral, definitely creamy. Lots of, I'm getting Gabbana, tuberose, solar notes. Great vanilla here though. The star player is definitely the vanilla with the candied citruses up top. This is good. This is gonna harp into gourmand territory, but not quite. That solar Gabbana / tuberose is definitely very present along with the vanilla, the citrus notes. This is nice. I think this one's going to make a lot of top lists and a lot of top choices for ladies out there. Perhaps one of the best female releases of the year so far. This is quite good. From the house of Molton Brown, this is a brand from England, which I like to call this or consider this to be just as probably good as Jo Malone. I think they smell quite good from what I've tried from this brand. There is a tobacco that I really like about this brand. I think it's called Tobacco Absolute. This is going to be the Eau de Parfum concentration. There is an Eau de Toilette concentration, which is a clear bottle. This is wild mint and lavender. First impression for you guys here on screen. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this brand of Molton Brown. If you are familiar, let me know which one are your top choices from this line. But this is wild mint and lavender. Let's see what we get out of this one. Love the bottles. I think they look quite chic. This again, mint, lavender. I like it. This is quite nice. I also get iris here from the impression here. Definitely herbal, green. The mint here is not very bright and refreshing. It's quite herbal, quite green and tamed. But you do have a gorgeous lavender here that's creamy, supple, almost, soapy-like. This is very elegant, very sophisticated, and I think great for everyday wear, signature scent. Quite good. Gonna get a thumbs up from me. Really enjoying this one. Hoping to smell on skin to wear this fragrance. And I'm thinking from a standpoint of a first impression here, this is great for transitional periods of spring into early summer. And right now, early fall, right before it gets really cold out. Great stuff right here. Really good. Thumbs up. From the house of Tom Ford, this is going to be a new signature, ported into the private blend into the signature line. This is going to be Tom Ford's Cafe Rose. Now, I remember having this fragrance. It had a dark bottle with the purple label. I'm gonna pop it on screen. And I believe it was discontinued, vaulted. And from what I remember, it was a very nice coffee and rose combination, but the coffee was creamy and it really popped. Lots of spice, lots of resins. This one here, from the looks of the bottle, it's going to be a little bit tamed. I think the composition might have been, changed a little bit. Sprays are great. Tom Ford is always great. Yes, this is going to be floral, ambery, spicy, but definitely it's going to have the coffee and the green kind of a situation here. Not very macchiato, not very gourmand. a very green coffee situation here that adds a little bit of a volume and adds a little bit of texture to the fragrance, but the rose is definitely up front and center. I think the fruity floral rose is going to be the star player here. The ambery and spices and the resin nuances with that coffee adds a nice volume and texture to the fragrance. This is quite good. Leans feminine. I do think that the original was a little bit more complex, a little bit more interesting, but this is good. I'm hoping, I don't know about you guys, that Tom Ford continues to bring some of those old discontinued fragrances into the signature line, but I hope that they don't neuter them so much as they did with this one right here. Now, from the house of Maison Margiela, from the Replica collection, this is one that I'm very curious about, and this is going to be under the stars. The relevance here for this particular fragrance is Namibia, the Skies of Namibia 2022. This is oud and leather. I am very curious about this one. I don't know about you guys, but I do love my leather and my oud fragrances, so I'm very, very curious about this one. Sprays are very nice. And this is quite good. I have to say, really good. I think from the house of Maison Margiela, Jazz Club, and By the Fireplace do get a lot of talks, but I think you guys that are frag heads out there, if you do love fragrances that are complex, deep, spicy, definitely powerful, you're going to enjoy this one. From a first impression standpoint, this is really good. One of the best fragrances on this haul. Definitely urge you guys to check this out. This is quite impressive. Under the Stars in Namibia 2022, Oud and Leather from the Maison Replica collection. This is very good. From the house of Ralph Lauren, this is the Polo line. This is going to have a box that's quite intriguing because it really reminds me of the original green Polo. So I'm thinking, are they going to add oud to that original composition, or is this going to be a whole different fragrance altogether? But I don't know if you guys remember, but Polo had a collection that had 3 fragrances. One that was Supreme Cashmere, Supreme Oud, and Supreme Leather. I'll have it on screen here. That collection was done away with, was discontinued. So now maybe they'll start releasing some new fragrances under the Ralph Lauren name that will just have this particular look with an oud, prominent note, a leather note, or what have you, or a tobacco note, who knows. This one here is the oud. The bottle looks very similar to the original Polo, green with gold appointments, quite chic, quite nice. I'm very curious about this one. Sprays are really good. And the scent is actually quite nice. It's not gonna be mind-blowing. It's gonna have this creamy woodiness to it. It pays a little bit of an homage to the original, but not quite. It's not going to be heavy, pungent, carnivorous, piney like that fragrance. Doesn't have tobacco in here. I don't get that. The oud here is done in a very subtle, very subdued and very sophisticated manner. It's not going to be fecal, pungent, medicinal. Adds really nice texture and volume to the scent. Definitely get lavender here. Get some modern meets classic feel to the fragrance, but it's definitely a modern composition. Get a little bit of an almond feel here, maybe heliotrope or some kind of an almond note that adds this really nice creaminess and nuttiness to the fragrance. Really digging this one. It's not going to be a screamer, I don't think, but the scent itself is actually quite good. All right, let's go for a test drive here with Gucci Guilty Elixir. I'm hoping this one will impress. The price point is no joke. This is nice. Okay, so this is giving me something that none of the other Gucci Guilties has given me, which is something very unique, very complex, really good on the nose. Really digging this one. I think you will enjoy it as well if you're looking for something that's, not more of the same. Quite good, green, herbal, lavender, vanilla, resins. Very powerful though. Not going to be for everyone. I think it's great for fall and winter. Because of the complexity to this fragrance, I don't think everybody will love it, but I think the people that do enjoy it will absolutely love it. When you look at the notes, it talks about spices, pimento, iris butter, or smenthus, so there's definitely a floral component here, very green. There's definitely herbs, resins, patchouli, and vanilla. And I also talk about the lavender that's definitely present here, which adds a nice balance to the fragrance. This is quite good. We'll get a big thumbs up from me right now. Next up, we're going to talk about a fragrance that's getting a ton of limelight right now. A lot of people talking about this as the best designer release of the year. This is Hugo Boss bottled Elixir. I'm very curious about this one because I do enjoy the line. Hugo Boss Elixir, Hugo Boss Intense is one of my favorites. So let's see what we get out of this one. Sprays are great. Let's see, guys. Wow. This is one of those scents that when you spray it on, it's gonna have you at hello. It smells absolutely incredible. The patchouli here is divine. The patchouli here is definitely the highlight of the fragrance. It's spicy, it's almost boozy, very creamy. This is not overly sweet, not overly smoky. It has all the beautiful facets that I love on a very intricate fragrance. And from a designer release, this is actually really good. I have to reiterate what people are saying. This perhaps one of the best releases of the year so far, just on the first impression, guys. Quite nice. If you want to see a full review on this one, let me know in the comments. If I get enough comments, enough likes, I will definitely come back and review 𝗚𝗏𝘆 Elixir. But a first impression, guys, this stuff is fire. Really looking forward to wearing this. In fact, if I had gotten this earlier this year, this would have no doubt made my top fall 2023. No worries though, it will definitely make my top winter coming up, because so far I'm loving what I'm smelling and I can't wait to try it on skin. Now, we're gonna hop into, from the designers, we're gonna hop into the niche world of things, starting with this fragrance right here from the house of Acro. This one's called East. Dark casing with gold appointments. I don't know if you guys heard about this one. I love Acro, I think it's very unique. I love what they do. The presentations come in these metal tins. This one's actually dark. This is the first dark bottle from the line. All the other fragrances from this collection were clear. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this fragrance brand, but this brand really highlights the vices of life. You know, sex, drugs. I mean, I know it's weird, you know, lust. So it highlights a lot of the vices in the world. I don't know what this one's gonna be about, but when I looked at the notes, it looked quite nice. And the creator and perfumer of Acro is one of the top perfumers in the world, none other than Olivier Cresp. So let's see what we get of Acro. Beautiful bottle again, dark with gold appointments. Really, really nice, really classy. Sprays are very nice. You can control depending on how hard you push or not. Wow, this is quite good. It opens up boozy, definitely oudy, lots of oud here. The oud here is borderline gourmand / animalic. You have this animalic medicinal fecal that's trying to be overbearing, but then it gets controlled with this woodiness. Definitely lots of woods here, definitely lots of spices, and not only spicy, but creamy and sweet as well. And I think the combination between the spices, the creaminess, and the sweetness really tames down the oud, not making it, you know, overbearing. So very nice combination here, quite nice. To be quite honest with you here, from a first impression, it's very similar to Oud Satin Mood from MFK. So if you do enjoy that fragrance, you will definitely like this one. Now, I don't know if on skin it's gonna be different. It's gonna take different, you know, twists and turns. But on a blotter here, first impression, very similar to that fragrance, depending on the price point, the performance, all that stuff taken into consideration, this could be a better, even better option. So let's leave it at that, but thumbs up for this one. Definitely in the top 3 right now of my favorites. Knocks out the Gucci Guilty Elixir, knocks out the Polo Oud, and it's right there with Boss Bottle Elixir. Acro, quite good here from everything I've tried so far. Now, continuing with the niche releases, I'm gonna talk to you guys about a brand new one from the house of Fragrance Dubois. You guys enjoy this brand. Which one is your favorite from this line? This is called Lovers. Now, this particular one I actually am very curious about. I do love the name, and I looked at the notes. The notes are quite intriguing. It does have a leather facet, so I am very curious to this one. Now with Fragrance Dubois, you get a great presentation. It comes in an outer box, then you have this velvety kind of almost like a jewelry box presentation with the metal plaque. Gorgeous presentation, red satin batting, and the bottles are actually works of art themselves. Beautiful, heavy glass, metal plate, metal cap with some, you know, crystals around it. So curious about this one. I actually spoke to some people that are wearing this fragrance right now, and they tell me that this is actually their new signature scent because they actually love this a lot. So I'm hoping I will too. All right, so right off the bat, I am getting clearly an oud / saffron leather / rose combination. This is a oud rose combination, but in a very sensual manner. Because of that saffron leather accord, it's adding a very nice feel, volume, intrigue to the fragrance, but also it's making it very well balanced. You know, the rose and the oud are not, you know, more of the same, because I think the saffron leather here is adding this very supple suede leather-like feel that's almost made to measure. I think that on skin this stuff will pop. I think as you warm up in the cooler months of the year, I think this is going to be a great one. Definitely androgynous, sits right in the middle because of the rose. It has a nice floral component here. Anybody could rock this. And from what I'm getting right now, it kind of is really taking over the place. Very powerful in structure. Could be a good thing. Maybe on skin it's going to be different, but it says right on the bottle, pour homme and pour femme. So it's definitely a unisex release. It was meant to be like that. Definitely fruity, definitely oudy. and definitely floral. Let me know, you guys, try this one, Lovers. Let me know again, what's your favorite from Fragrance Dubois, your thoughts on the brand. This one here, quite nice. Not one of my favorites though. Still have to wear on skin to see what I'm gonna get out of it. But on the first impression, this is good, it's got potential. New from the house of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, as you would say in Italian, or 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, as you would say in English. This is going to be 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Now, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 or 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is a fragrance brand, and it's also a sister brand, or under the same umbrella, as Tiziana Terenzi from Italy. Love the presentation, gorgeous leather box, real leather by the way. Beautiful brown batting with a green and gold bottle. This is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard about this fragrance. I didn't hear much about this at all, other than the fact that it's a 2023 release. So I am very curious to try. There is a patchouli from this brand, which I believe it's called 𝗵𝗏𝗄𝗏. I have it back here. So, oh, there it is. Let me reach out to it and let you guys know about it. This is going to be 𝗵𝗏𝗄𝗏 from 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. This is a gorgeous patchouli fragrance. If you guys haven't tried it, definitely try it. You're gonna love it. Now, this one here, it says, you know, it's going to be, from what I'm seeing here with the velvety green, you know, bottle, maybe it's gonna be a green scent. Let's see. Okay, so it is a green fruity scent, but right off the bat, it is a different take on a very popular fragrance. One that I almost had it on this haul, but it didn't arrive in time. And I talked about Absolute Aventus, and this is going to be very similar to the original Aventus. This is going to be one of those Creed Aventus batches that are going to be less smoky and more fruitier. Creamy, musky, and fruity. But a take on Aventus. We'll leave it at that. Amazing in smell. It's all going to depend on how you can pick this up, you know, how expensive it's going to be when compared to Aventus. Now, if the performance is incredible, which I think is going to be, minus the smokiness and the birch does not have, this could be a great alternative to Creed's Aventus. Next up, we're going to talk about, we just talked about Creed Aventus, so let's talk about a fragrance from Creed. We're going to talk about Creed Carmina. This one here also getting a ton of limelight outside YouTube, or even on YouTube, you know, TikTok. I see a lot of people talking about this one, Instagram. And from what I understand, this is going to be a cherry fragrance. Beautiful purple bottle, transparent. You can see the juice, gold appointments. Now, cherry, just like the note of pistachio, are getting quite a bit of limelight in the world of perfumery. It's trending pretty high. So Carmina is going to be a cherry fragrance from what I understand. My first take on this one, beautiful. I mean, Creed has one of the best sprayers in the game, no two ways about it. Okay, so this definitely has cherry, but it also has a ton of florals. So it is similar to Lost Cherry from Tom Ford, but that particular fragrance, I think it's creamier and a little bit spicier. A little richer, if you will. This one here, the cherry just peeks through, almost like a candied cherry, like a Jolly Rancher cherry, adding a little tartness to the fragrance, but the floral aspects of this fragrance are definitely up front and center. So it's more of a fruity floral, but more of a floral fruity, if it makes sense. Definitely tons of floral. Almost, there's a bitterness to it, depending on the florals that they utilize here. There's definitely a bitterness to it. So if you didn't like, you know, that particular Lost Cherry composition because you thought it was overly sweet or too cherry-like, this is going to have the cherry as a support note, but not really as a main note. I think the floral notes are definitely the star players of this fragrance, with the cherry just adding volume, support, and transition to the fragrance. Get a lot of florals with some cherry and a little bit of a saffron, leathery vibe to the fragrance. This is quite nice, quite elegant, quite classy. A guy or a gal could wear this, but I can see this perfectly on a lady. Springtime and early fall, I think, would be the best seasons for this particular one. Let me know if you guys have tried this one, or your thoughts on this one. Are you looking forward to this one? I'm not really, you know, impressed, but I'm hoping to be impressed by Absolute Aventus, which, again, I will get it later today. We'll rock it for the next couple days and maybe review it for you guys. Let me know if you guys want to see a review on that one. But next up here on the list, we're going to talk about the new from BDK Parfums, which is a brand that I do love. This is called Pas Ce Soir Extrait. So this is going to be a flanker, which we see a lot happening with niche fragrances out there. They're actually diving into, you know, flankers. If they have a fragrance that is actually pretty successful, what they do, they come up with a flanker of that fragrance, maybe with some, you know, elevated nuances of a particular note that was actually pretty nice. Maybe they make it heavier, sweeter, smokier, you name it. This is Pas Ce Soir. I don't know if you guys have tried the original, but this is going to be their straight composition. Love the bottle. It's got the steel greenish feel to it with black appointments. Love the presentation. BDK, for the uniqueness of their presentations, I think is one of the best emerging niche brands out there. So let's see what we get out of this one, guys. Wood Jasmine is one of my favorites from this line. Gris Charnel gets a lot of talks. So this is going to be another floral fragrance that I also get 𝗵𝗲, also get tuberose here. This is gonna lean more feminine, very classy though, very sophisticated, very elegant, powerful stuff. It's got this sensual vibe to it, creamy, sweet, and floral. Now I don't have the original Pas Ce Soir exactly because of that. When I tried that fragrance, from everything I own from the brand, I didn't really like it because it leaned floral, hands the fact to my taste, it leaned more feminine. This is nice. If you do love your florals that are heavy, dense, deep, and fruity, you will love this one. This is not something that I would rock myself. I think my wife would wear this beautifully. So I think this leans more feminine, but it's a quite nice one in comparison to the Volution by Dolce & Gabbana. I like the smell in this one more. However, I think this is going to be very linear. What you're gonna get from the beginning is gonna be what you're gonna get throughout the whole life of the fragrance, which is that, you know, candied citrus with the vanilla. This one here definitely will have complexity and transition on skin. So this is something that I would favor. And like I said, I can't wait to smell this on my wife and other ladies out there. This is a good one. Now we talked about two notes that are trending very heavily in the world of perfumes. Of course, cherry and then pistachio was very heavily trending this year. Another note that's very heavily trending right now in the world of niche perfumery is the note of maracuja, which is also known as passion fruit. So I think this is gonna be great. I actually, to be quite honest with you, I remember trying a sample of this earlier this year. I believe it was March or April. It was like a preview thing. People were saying this is the next one, the next great thing from Maison Crivelli. Here you go, Max, try this sample, let me know what you think. This was months ago, I believe, like I said, back in April, early May. So I don't quite remember what it smelled like, but I remember I did enjoy. So case here is nothing crazy. You know, you have a card here that talks about the fragrance, a cardboard box, nothing crazy. I do like their bottles though. I think they're quite nice. I love the feel that you have here on the label. It says Oud Maracuja Extract de Parfum, Maison Crivelli. It is a dark blue bottle with a metal aluminum cap, I want to say. And like I said, if I remember correctly, this was a doozy. This was a great one, guys. So let's go. Another first impression here, or the official first impression, if you will. Exactly. So a dark oud scent that's not overly fecal or medicinal, but it does have a daring, mysterious, and dark facet to it. The maracuja, the fruity, the passion fruit, adds this gorgeous nuance to the fragrance. It almost adds this cocktail, fruity juice, juicy drink. Like a cocktail, boozy, fruity, juicy drink is what I get here with the maracuja, along with the oud, dark woods, and the fruitiness of this cocktail drink is what I'm getting here. This is quite nice. This is actually something that almost all year round. The only time that I would probably refrain from rocking this is in the heavy months of summer. Other than that, this has a very nice, versatile vibe about it, but I think this is a fragrance that you could rock potentially if you must as a signature scent, but I would actually rock this as a secret weapon. A fragrance to wear when you really want to make a great first impression, you want to smell different than anybody else around the room. This is definitely going to give you that edge. Loving the passion fruit. I know the fruit itself, very true, very natural smelling maracuja here. The oud here is phenomenally done and greatly composed. This is very good, definitely in the top 5 choices here. In fact, I'll give you my favorites in the end, but this one here up there for sure. Now, speaking of up there, we're going to talk about a release now that's getting a lot of limelight. I saw dozens of reviews on this fragrance. I'm going to do my first impression right now for you guys on camera. This is Altair from the house of Parfums de Marly, one of the top brands out there, just like Creed, Tom Ford. You know, when these brands put something out, people listen. Whether you like it or not, they do command attention, these brands. Now, I know the pricing on these fragrances are not cheap. They're heavily priced, and I believe Parfums de Marly, just like Creed, suffers increases almost yearly. So that's for you guys to decide whether or not you want to pick it up. So I will tell you my first impressions on Altair right now. I do love the bottle here and the box. It's almost like this cocoa color, you know, this beige kind of a feel, creamy. And the bottle is almost orange bronze kind of a feel, but not quite. It's not very shiny at all. It's almost like a matte, it is a matte finish with the heavy Marly cap that we all become accustomed to. The bottles look absolutely incredible. One of the best bottles in the game, no two ways about it. Let's go. Beautiful sprayers, as you would expect with Marly. And the scent is really, really nice. On the first impression, I have to say, this is good. I believe this is two perfumers' work to put this together, but Hamid Menati Kashani was the main perfumer on this fragrance. And I'm liking this. This one has a very nice sweetness to it with a gorgeous which seems to be a herbal lavender / vanilla feel that I'm getting. So it is modern, but also has a very well mature vibe about it. It's not too playful, it's not too youthful, which is what I would expect from Parfums de Marly. So if you want something a little more playful, go with Sadly, go with Layton. This is gonna be a little more mature. I think a lady could enjoy this. The spicy vanilla here is absolutely incredible. Very, very good. 2 words to summarize this fragrance: sensual and elegant. Simple as that. Good first impression. Really digging it. Don't know if it's gonna be a love for me. I have to wear on skin, but on the first impression standpoint, this stuff is quite good. I don't know anything about longevity, projection, so pardon me as I dive more into this fragrance. And again, just like Hugo Boss, Elixir, anything else on this list, you wanna see a full review, let me know in the comments. And if I get enough comments, enough requests, I'll come back with a full review on this guy. But first impression, quite good. Now, before I talk about the last fragrance here on this list, I want to let you guys know on 2 reminders. Number 1, you can try anything on this list, and thousands to choose from: designer, indie, niche, you name it. Perfume.com, the best place. In fact, the time you're watching this video, which is the 22nd, so until Sunday, the 24th at midnight, there's a code for you guys, especially for the viewers here, which is going to be Fall Haul, which is this 16 fragrance haul, brand new fragrances. You can try all of them, and whatever you like, whatever you wish, you can mix and match with the Max Pack. The more you pick, the more you save. And use my code, or the code for this video, which is Fall Haul, which will give you guys 25% site-wide from the time you're watching this video until midnight on the 24th of September. So enjoy. And also, quick reminder, don't forget to register to ScentXplore 2023 5th annual. This is the biggest convention of niche perfume in the Americas. And of course, if you register right now until the 30th of September, whichever comes first, there are hundreds of these still available, you're going to get a ScentXplore gift box just like this, shipped straight to your door, worldwide. This is international shipping. You're going to be able to get a 𝗏𝗏 magazine, which is a partner of ScentXplore this year, along with a ton of samples. We're talking 40 to 50 samples from the various brands that are participating this year. Of course, you're also going to get discovery kits, as we always do, from 𝗏𝗏 and the other top brands, including previews of releases of next year. And you're also going to get launches that are exclusive to ScentXplore 2023, guys, from the various niche brands. Check out ScentXplore.com so you can find out the brands, the content creators. We're going to have over 150 content creators that are going to be joining us. The top creators, smaller creators, TikTokers, YouTubers, you name it. It's like the Disney World of fragrance. You guys will enjoy. Now, one more thing I want to remind you of: 𝗏𝗏 magazine, along with ScentXplore, are giving a giveaway, a trip to New York to ScentXplore for 1 lucky winner +1 with their expenses paid, the flight and of course the hotel. So this particular giveaway ends at the end of October. So for this one here, you have more time. You will get the gift box, whether virtual or in person, doesn't matter, shipped straight to your door. But like I said, that particular promo for the boxes will end on September 30th. However, the giveaway here from the 𝗏𝗏 ends on the end of October and will be announced in the beginning of November. So if you are, but this is only for virtual attendees only. So if you're a virtual attendee for ScentXplore and you've already registered, check out the link below so you can enter to win for a trip to New York with your trip and your hotel paid, courtesy of 𝗏𝗏 and ScentXplore. Now, the last fragrance I'm going to talk to you guys about today is one that has been talked about quite a bit. I think most top reviewers have talked about this fragrance, and I was very curious. I was so curious that I said, you know what, I'm going to pick up a bottle because I want to try it myself and see what this is all about, what the whole hubbub is about. This is going to be Soulja Boy. This is going to be Ask Boy For Him by Draco. Now, as you see, it's sealed. I haven't tried this yet. It's going to be my first take on camera. I'm very curious about this fragrance. I heard a lot of greatness about this fragrance as far as the performance, as far as the scent itself, as far as the compliment factor. I don't know any of that because, again, this is the first impression. All I know is, number 1, it's not cheap. Number 2, it's getting a lot of talks. So I wanted to check this out. So presentation here is pretty cool. Nothing crazy. You get this podium-like where the fragrance sits in there. Gradient from darker to lighter. Golden, yellow, and black appointments. Rubbery cap. Again, not the top quality caps, but it's doing its job. Sprays are quite nice. Not the best, but not the worst. Now, the smell itself is quite pleasant. Now, the scent is why we're here. So, first impression on this one has gourmand facets to it. Definitely sweet, definitely creamy. I'm getting sandalwood. I'm getting sweet vanilla. I would describe this as a gourmand, floral, fruity. There are definitely tons of fruity notes here. Maybe coconut. I have to look at the notes, but definitely there's a nice fruitiness to it. Like I talked about, Gabbana, tuberose, you know, that solar note, definitely here. This is borderline masculine and feminine. It's right in the middle. Everybody can rock this, even though this says it's for him. It's got a very likable, you know, quality to it. I heard a lot of people saying this smells like Aventus, it smells like Baccarat Rouge. Absolutely not. It doesn't smell like anything like those two fragrances. This is its own thing. Simple as that. On the blotter, I'm getting lots of fruits, very tropical vibe to it. Creamy, tropical, a little bit solar, a little greenness to it. You know, I think the oak moss will peek through, especially when you wear it on skin. Now, on the blotter, it's not gonna do full justice in this fragrance, I don't think. I really have to rock this on skin to get the full impression or the full performance or feel to the fragrance. But on the first impression, I'm gonna say, this is good. I don't love it, but I definitely don't hate it. I can't wait to rock this on skin to really get the full feel to the fragrance. But on the first impression, guys, this is good. Not great, but good. It's got potential. But I think the top three on this whole would have to be Replica at the number 3 spot. This is gonna be Oud and Leather. Really, really love this one. At the number 2 spot, I think I'm gonna have to really say, guys, I really dug Altair from the house of Parfums de Marly. At the number 1 spot though, no questions about it, it's going to be this one right here, Boss Elixir from the house of Hugo Boss, guys. This is really nice for designer. Like I said, if you want to see any of these fragrances fully reviewed, let me know in the comments and I'll come back. And if you do enjoy this first haul, this first impression haul here, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Your support is greatly appreciated. Don't forget to check out ScentXplore.com if you want to get a full discovery kit. The time is now, it ends on September 30th. As always, guys, thank you so much for being here with me and I'll see you in the next one. As always, take care.